primary ignition.
Hey, this is Marty Matulis. I play Vane on The Mandalorian, and you're watching the Virtual Cantina Network.
Ooh, and away we go.
Good evening. Hello there.
That's what his hat says. General Baru.
Yeah, that's right.
The
And Baru's Wrecking Crew available on the TeePublic as we speak.
That looks pretty slick for a TeePublic shirt.
It's very, I like it. It's turned out really nice sometimes.
It looks sort of like an old school iron-on.
It does. And that was kind of my goal when I did it, is that was making this shape and the yes. So thank you for noticing.
Anyways, there's the URL for TeePublic if anybody wants to go pick one up.
Yes, if you're seeing Bonnie P. I can't ever say
Seeing
Bonnie anywhere right there. I think she
there
would
you go.
Enjoy and like this one.
Indeed. Anywho,
I was wearing a different shirt today, but nobody had problem figuring out what my name was.
Uh-oh. You mean something along the lines of this?
Exactly. A couple of my more adept friends to the Star Wars universe would look at it and start giggling, because they understood. Well, of course I know him. He's me.
Yeah, that is a fairly classic line of good old Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and 2 or 3 times I had to say, okay, so Obi-Wan, these droids think that they belong to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi. His name I have not heard in a long time.
Skip Ruckle, a name I haven't heard in a long time.
A long time.
Although I see it every day on my truck. All right. So it's another watch-along, and this time it's good old episode 1. Hopefully everybody's seen it in the theater in the last couple of weeks.
I have not. I was not ever able to be free when it was showing. By the time I was free, they'd stop showing.
Well, you can always watch on Disney Plus like we're going to do in a few minutes.
You can do that. But.
What happened? Something's going on.
I do like now that when theaters offer a special event like this and you're not able to get there, merch through the mail, people.
There we go. What kind of merch we got? Hope it didn't come dented. Oh, those are nice. Pair of cups.
Pair of cups.
With that artwork that's behind us.
Yes. They're very nice. Cool. And this is why I got it.
The popcorn bucket. It's tin, isn't it?
It's
so shiny. Wow.
It is. It's super shiny. It's tin.
And it's embossed.
You can get your hand in that one real easy.
That's for actually eating popcorn out of, as opposed to
eating popcorn. And that's why I have it, because when I went to see Rogue One, I have one. I have one from most of the sequel trilogy that my theater offered on opening night. But yes, the embossed and the actual tin.
Yeah, those are just a boring old popcorn tin.
Yeah,
nothing super weird or special about that one. Doesn't light up. Doesn't evoke thoughts of other things.
Yes, Sherry, that is not a Mikey popcorn bucket. That is one
but
that
you can also get the ones that light up and do things on,
Oh yes, you have the other alternate version of the trap.
I had to get the one with the thing that actually is
the proper screen accurate version of the trap. Yeah, the one I got the one Mike and I got has that backwards like V shape instead of.
Yeah, I love Pete. No lube required.
Yeah,
That-
but where's the thing?
Oh no!
There's a thing. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Snap that open. Put some popcorn in there. Does that have wheels?
And there are wheels.
Cool. Yeah, ours has wheels too, which is
And then it
makes it even funner.
It does a little light.
Right. Very
There's
cool.
a little light at the top as well. But
Lots of fun.
again, for actual popcorn.
Exactly.
Actually, probably won't be. This will probably get hung from my spirit pack.
There you go. Well, it looks good as a prop, so
It does.
Yeah, I also did not see episode 1 in the movie theater last time. I know I was so busy, and I kept on saying, "Oh, we'll go," and then I'd be getting home, and I'd be like really tired, and I'd be like, "Oh, we'll go tomorrow night." And then it's like 2 weeks later, and I'm like, "Yeah, the enthusiasm is all in the first couple nights when everybody's going. You know, when you're in a big crowd,
it gives you a different vibe for sure.
Yeah, enthusiasm. You go by yourself, it's like, well, I might as well be at home watching it on my TV.
I ended up seeing it with what seemed like appropriate crowd the first showing, but we didn't get the Acolyte trailer, which was fine. But we did get like a weird mishmash of like news and commercial type stuff, like 3 or 4 minutes worth of stuff that had come out at that time when the movie dropped in '99. But
you like vintage trailers, teasers, that sort of thing.
Yeah. One of the things was also the remastered original trailer.
Wow.
Which I prefer the new version because it has a better Yoda. That puppet just was weird looking to me. He still is. But anyways,
I remember and I love the original trailer for this because of how difficult it was to get your hands on. Because I think before this even came out,
we were talking about that.
This was one of the early internet trailers.
It was like an Apple exclusive, whatever.
Yes.
One of those ones.
And it was at the point where the internet was so young, where it took all night to download. And it was one of those, and it was an event because it wasn't like, what we would do now, which is just hit download and walk away and go to sleep. No.
If it needed to be.
You're wiggling the mouse every few,
Yeah, you had to double check on it, make sure your computer hadn't frozen up in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Which it would do.
So, completely remember. It's sad that this is one of these. Do you remember where it was when the Phantom Menace trailer dropped? I do.
Yeah, I had just started working in the media center in Santa Monica College, where I currently work.
I was in the basement of, let's see, was it? I forget the name of the hall, but I was in the basement of Brooks Hall, maybe, which is where there were like 4 or 5 computers, which was the all-night computer lab, just 4 or 5 computers on a table, and that's where we were sitting there.
Yeah, well, it was nice to have that better network.
And then you watched it this
postage stamp size. But look at that. Look at the detail. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, look at the detail.
Pod racing.
That was pod racing.
Were we still doing dial-up back then?
Oh, yeah.
This wasn't dial-up. This was because I was...
At school, you had the campus network, so...
I had the campus network. If I had been in my dorm room, it would have been on dial-up, I believe. And that's why I was sitting in this basement 24-hour accessible computer space.
Yep.
It's been, is it 20 or 25 years now?
25.
25.
1999.
Oh, that's right.
20 would be next year for Revenge of the Sith.
I was selling real estate by then, and I was working for somebody else. And I remember I went to go visit my brother and sister-in-law. And
see, that's it. People know where they were. It's that kind of thing.
I used to use the campus labs for a lot of questionable activities like downloading trailers or, doing other weird activities that weren't necessarily class related.
Napster.
Imagine that.
And then
This is why I have a 20,000 song music library.
You Napster.
Exactly.
Oh man, Napster. I remember the days.
Yeah. I remember Napster too. My brother actually had a client who was the founder of Napster. He was he had a nice
Seth
house
Green?
here in
No. Seth Green.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
You remember that movie? That was the Napster.
Wasn't that one of the
The Italian Job.
The Italian Job, exactly.
Anyways, yeah, there was a lot of time spent on those things looking for stuff. Napster I didn't use a lot because I had all the other access and didn't necessarily need to. But anyways, LimeWire.
Oh, the line.
Oh, shoo.
No, but I usually would let other people download stuff and then get a copy from them, so I wouldn't have to worry about it.
Well, that was the other thing too, is being the one who actually knows how to use iTunes or something in the early days, and just anytime anybody wants music loaded to digitally is, oh, here, take these 4 or 5 CDs.
There you go.
Duplicate.
Rip them and then burn them, and then.
But were we in the cantina the other night talking about like physical media?
Yeah, we were.
I miss physical media.
Yeah, that's I was happy to get those steelbook versions of the Andor and Obi-Wan because it's sort of more of a, it's tangible as opposed to this ether that we work from these days.
See, I was a nightclub DJ for a while in the.
You got crates of LPs.
So I got getting music to listen to was not a big thing because I was listening to it at work, and then during the day I was not really interested in sitting around listening to music all day.
Yeah, I think that this trailer came out shortly before the period where I constantly had an iPod. I had the first generation Nano. I think that was the one that was like 1 inch and 3/4 by 3 or 4 inches or something like that.
Yeah, they went through some weird incarnations of the smaller ones.
Yeah, that's what we had for Avery when she was younger.
But yeah, the iPod didn't drop until the early 2000s.
Yeah, I said shortly after this. It wasn't quite this kind of deal.
And that was where that Apple relationship with that type of media continued, because it'd be like, ooh, download it and get it on your iTunes, and then you can have it on your video iPod that has a screen the size of a Game Boy, if that.
You're talking to a person who keeps a Game Boy in their desk drawer at work.
Well, I have a video iPod on my desk at work, although I turned it on in 100 years.
Game Boy in there.
Yeah, well, yeah, that would amaze the kids, I would think.
Oh, it does. You should see, this is one of my favorite ones. We do enrichment, where we teach them about other, I do classic video games. They've kind of defeated me now because they took away our tube TV that we still have mounted to the ceiling. Because I would hook an Atari 2600 up to that.
There you go.
1999, yeah, that was a great album.
Now that's what I call music. It's been 89 years or 88 since they released that.
Sorry,
can only have one a year. Now it seems like that would mean they'd put out 5 a year, but anyways. 4 a year, whatever. Anyhow,
I just remember all the hype coming up to this movie. The pictures of Anakin as the little kid with the shadow that looked like the
That's a really cool poster.
It was
Vader's shadow.
Vader's shadow and
Cast
Anakin
off Anakin on a hovel in the desert.
And just all the, this is the new technology, because this is George's first foray into the heavily overused CGI stuff.
Well, I think it was so much that they did the same thing for this movie that they did for the original movie. Is George had to go and create the technology to do what he wanted to do. It was the same for Star Wars on a way smaller budget.
Well, and just a few years before this, he had done the special edition.
So they had some of the ideas or some of the processes down, but not, the whole,
Well, he's trying to fix everything that he didn't like about the OG.
That's what I want him to come back and do for these movies.
Yes, for a special edition. And that was, he was having to sprinkle it in because he's got, these, very real life, kind of traditional way of shooting film. And then, could only fix it a little bit. But now this one, he's like, okay, I got a blank canvas. I can put whatever I want out there as far as how much CG I want to use.
True.
See, it may just be my headcanon, but I always assumed that the special editions were no more than his test runs for what he was already planning to do with this.
I think they've said that in some of the behind the scenes stuff or director commentaries type stuff where they've said that it was, I think the movies were going ahead anyways, but this was a way to kind of gauge what they could do with what the new
probably
tools
a way to fund this movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Re-release the Star Wars again and put it on video and everything and laser disc and
the special editions. It was kind of fun sitting in the movie theater and listening to sitting behind these 9 and 10-year-olds in front of me who are seeing it on the movie theater for the first time and are oohing and eyeing like they've never seen it before, but in actuality they'd seen it on their TV for years. And I was like, holy shit, you mean this is what it looks like on the big screen?
Yeah. It's very true.
I was disappointed that they didn't let them run longer in theaters for the special edition. Because I ended up missing both episodes 4 and 6 in the theater that time and only saw Empire. And then saw them obviously since then in, digital form or whatever on some other form of media, but not in a theater necessarily. Although I probably have seen the special edition in theaters for both of them since then.
I don't remember that I went to see special edition in theaters. I don't remember doing that. I know I bought it on VHS. It's sitting over there.
I remember seeing Empire definitively because I won tickets off the radio to go to a screening that was here in Westwood. And that was a few years after, what was that, 97? So it was 2 years after one of my favorite radio stations that I was very involved in, and won a lot of stuff on the radio from them, had gone off the air. So when I won tickets to this and went to it, and then I saw people that I knew from the previous station and stuff that had been working, in other ways or whatever. And it was a cool connection, besides just being a free movie and a movie that I was really fond of.
Well, I loved the experience for going to see this movie. This was in the days where people would still camp out. It's not virtual queues and yada yada yada. Order your tickets 3 months ahead of time online.
If you wanted a specific seat, you had to be there when the box office opened. That was the same with concerts.
Yeah, I stood in line for this movie. I actually this year went and saw Jedi, the re-release of Jedi, at the same theater where I stood in line for this movie.
Nice.
and it's the same kind of thing. It's a classic. It's got the marquee. It's the whole deal. Now they've updated this thing now, and I was happy about that they have like reclining leather seats and that sort of thing. But
you got a similar vibe.
It was an experience to do this, and I didn't do it, but I know that the day before, I think I saw it, or probably just hours before, because I think they did a midnight showing. There were people that had been camping out for weeks.
Yeah, it's a little much. But I have a group of friends that will do a camp out for the new movies, even though they've already purchased their tickets, and know where they're sitting. They still will go and line up and kind of make an event out of it. Well, I just never been fond of the line and waiting in the line and hours in the line.
I can remember waiting for in the OG, waiting outside, sitting in line because they wouldn't sell tickets until it was time to go in. The show before you would be going on, and you'd be sitting there waiting for it to finish. And then as soon as it finished and let out, they'd start selling tickets, and then you go into the movie theater. But no, I was never a big fan of standing in line.
I mean, it was a period and a thing. I think the first movie that I remember standing in line for and really, really waiting for to get in at opening night or close to it was Batman '89.
Yeah, the first movie I remember was doing something like that was Jedi. Me and my buddy, my next door neighbor, where my dad lived, were like, it's coming out. We want to get in there first. We don't want to. So we ended up going. I've said this before. I probably in here. I don't know. We ended up going to a theater that was a little bit farther out of the town, as opposed to like the one in the downtown area that we knew would be, a little bit more active. We wanted to have the option of choosing our own seats, and we're like, ended up being second in line or something for a theater that was a little bit farther out. But I think it made it worth it. When I saw Empire, I went with my aunt, and she was taking me to the movies, and we were gonna go see it at the Chinese, but it had just moved. It had done its run at the Chinese and moved down the street to another Grauman's theater back in the day. I think it was before it was even Mann's. It might have been Mann's at the time. But they probably both were to the Egyptian. So I ended up seeing it in the Egyptian, which is a legendary theater. Now Netflix does screenings there, and other streaming services. But yeah.
Cool.
This movie I saw for the first time in Westwood, and had to go whenever the tickets dropped. I had to go drive to Westwood and buy them at that point. Yeah. And it wasn't assigned seats. It was just a ticket. Mm-hmm. And then that was the thing where then you get in line and wait however long you're going to do it. And at that theater and the Chinese, so the Westwood, the Fox Village Westwood, which is like the most used, especially for premieres here in LA, in the city of Westwood, which is like part of LA. And it's not Hollywood, but it's not far. Anyways, those two theaters had the liningup.net people, for blocks. So unless you were willing to spend that however many hours in time in line, which again, I'm not a big line guy, so that never appealed to me. You were going to be in whatever was like, if you were there early enough, and still you would be in line for a while, but not quite as long. You might be able to catch part of that theater that they were taking up the first screening of. But like I did, I bought a ticket for the second showing because I knew it would be much more difficult to try to get in the first showing because of the lining up people. So that was, instead of a midnight showing like they used to do back in the day, and it was legit a midnight showing, it wasn't 10 p.m., which they pushed it back to. It wasn't 7 p.m. or even 6 now for some of them.
2 days before. It's like
that too,
night or something.
But now everything traditionally opens on Thursday night now, and it's like you can go see it at 6 and not like at midnight.
Yeah.
But that movie was such a big deal that they had 24-hour screenings. So my ticket was for 3 a.m. second screening of in that theater that day, or of the run, and got out of the movie theater at 5:30 in the morning and had to go home and change and go to work. I think I lied down for like an hour, half an hour, or something like that. And then, if you wanted to see it again, you had to go buy another ticket at the theater. This was long before they did. You might have been able to do phone order tickets from some theaters, but I don't remember if that was even a thing.
You for sure couldn't do that here. I mean, this was still a movie that came out when going to the movies was an event in this area. I was in college and I was in the big city. Okay. I went to college in our state capital, man, big town of Raleigh, North Carolina. I know. Andy, OP, we're going to the big town. Yeah. But, we still had to find a theater that was playing this, drive all the way across town and all pile in because it's college and not all of us had cars, and it was the thing. But when we saw anything before this, like my town had a movie theater in the 40s and 50s, but had shut down completely. There's just a marquee. And you had to drive to Durham or to Raleigh, which is, 25, 30 minutes away to go see a movie, to find a big multiplex. Actually, I don't even think it was a multiplex. It was like 2 or 3 screens tops at some of those.
A lot of the bigger theaters converted to like a multiplex, like the Culver Theater here in Culver City, California, which now is Kirk Douglas Theater because they converted to like a playhouse as opposed to a traditional movie theater. I don't think I ever saw a movie in it as a single screen theater. It was always a 3-screen theater as far as I can remember, but it was originally built as a single screen and then they converted it to 3, and they like broke up the balcony into 2 small theaters and had the main big theater. I remember them doing that long before the multiplexes even started. So, but a lot of the theaters around here would convert to something a little more shady, or like a super cheap theater. Like there was one near my house.
The dollar theater.
We had 49 cents.
There you go.
I was all about 49 cents. For a couple more dollars, I'd go, stock up on Snickers bars and cans of soda at the liquor store before I went to the theater and try to make sure I didn't look like I was trying to sneak stuff in. They used to be very strict about that. Now they're still strict.
Yeah, you're supposed to, but yeah.
Bridget's purse was where all that stuff went.
Oh, there you go. See,
we go to the local grocery store and buy all our candy and put it in bags. And I remember, going to the movie theaters, when the kids were small and having stuff stuck down my coat sleeves.
Yeah.
My arms folded so it wouldn't fall out.
Yeah. Well, I like now that the artwork on Disney Plus is this artwork.
Yes, it's the same image.
When you see it like just the regular in the listing, it's not the regular.
That's the old. That's an
old one. But once you click on that and you get in there, it's anniversary.
Yeah, that new key art that's on the poster for the new release.
So it is that time to be queuing up.
Oh,
That's what I was doing right there. Is
get your Disney Plus ready. Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, Episode 1.
Woo! Woo!
I love how they're trying to like push away from the Episode 1 branding, even though I made sure we used a graphic that said Episode 1 very prominently. But
what else would you call it?
The Phantom Menace. But anyways, Episode 1 is kind of more of an ambiguous term because it could refer to a TV show or a number of other things as well. But it is,
and it's also not the first episode that you should watch. Just
that's true.
Not the first.
If you've never seen Star Wars, don't start with episode
Don't
1.
start with this one.
It's interesting, but it's
I like this movie, and I'm saying that, and I'm like, because I like this movie.
yeah. So I'm wondering when you're gonna acquire that hat. I'm thinking it's probably on its way to you already, but I have no idea.
Oh no!
I saw it when I went to the read. Oh, we'll talk about this once we start. There you go. Very nice. Very, 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 very cool.
Dark Jedi.
But that's gonna be canon now.
Yep. That's awesome.
All right. How is that supposed to happen?
What?
It's in the new Lego.
In the new Lego movie.
Okay.
That was
the Lego universe. It's canon.
Well, that makes it canon because that's canon. Technically, is what we've been told, right? Yeah, I think.
No.
So. All right, we're going to start this movie.
We'll talk about this. Not canon.
We'll talk about this again in a second. Here we go. There's a fanfare.
Oh.
Uh-oh, what are we hearing?
I was hearing the movie.
Didn't headphone.
Want to get us kicked off of
Facebook. YouTube wouldn't care. They'd be like, "Oh, you're muted in some countries. Never mind." Facebook would be like, "You're done."
I think it's because I was watching this movie the other night, so it wanted to like restart in the place that I was watching it.
Oh yeah, that too. I hate that about the media players sometimes. It's like, no, I'm not here to continue. Why don't you ask me? Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So I saw this the day it opened for the re-release of the 25th anniversary at Lucasfilm, which is very cool, along with some other elements that we were talking about earlier. But then when I saw it in the theater recently down here, it was a little different vibe. There wasn't a full theater and it wasn't a bunch of Star Wars geeks. So some of the stuff was just me mouthing lines that nobody else gave a shit about. But the other night, I saw a live read of this that was out of hand.
That sounded like it. Did you ever find out if that's streaming? I think.
Well, they have a stream that you could purchase. Whether they're going to put it on somewhere where you can actually just watch it, there'd probably be some kind of a time frame before that's available. But
yeah,
you could see it live, or you could watch the live stream, and it was like $20 for a ticket or $15 to watch the live stream.
So did it occur to anybody as they watch this that this one starts out with a ship coming at you instead of going away from you? Like A New Hope,
right? Huh?
So everything was flying over top of you and away from you. In this case, you're sitting there watching it come right at you. Well, that's
was the reveal different too, like the planet? Anyways, so instead of what people have come to say is a stereotype type voice for the Nemoidians, they were a different stereotype. They were Southern politician types. Very interesting to hear their lines delivered that way. And that droid was Lorraine Newman, of all people, from Saturday Night Live fame.
Well, they start kind of hitting you with very similar to, A New Hope vibes here. It's a lot of stuff on the starship interior, hallways, that sort of thing. You're not in the battle quite as quickly, but it kind of sets the tone for the movie, which is there's going to be a lot of talk in this. Gonna be a lot of
politics. Politicking.
Oh, there you go. Sherry said that she saw a Facebook ad for that reading.
Oh, right. Was only available for 7 days. Well, that would mean that it's still available until this Sunday. So
Yeah. So
if you
people,
want to see
it
something
just open. What was there a large crowd? I mean, like super big, packed in, people waiting in line. I want to hear other people's experience, just where things were different places.
Oh yeah, I don't remember how big or how full the theater was when I saw it the first time. I just remember we wanted to be there in order to choose our seats, and we were happy about that.
Something as trivial as this trade dispute, they didn't make it out to be a trivial thing when they did the scroll, but then also it's a trivial.
Scroll is serious.
Yapping about. Oh yeah, that's Jedi. Let's just kill him.
Yeah, it's easy. It's you just kill them. Stunted slime. And so during the live read that I saw the other day, this Lord Sidious was portrayed by Diana Leon Santo.
See, don't give me that whole Tales of the Empire. She's got a backstory. No, she's just evil all the time.
And then she did double duty as Palpatine as well. So, booyah! Blowing up those models.
Uh-oh. And I do appreciate that. I know a lot of people don't appreciate that about this movie. I appreciate the humor. I think that just makes it fun.
The droids have grown on me, but when I first heard them say Roger, Roger, I was a bit annoyed because I don't know. I
think a lot of people forget that 3PO and R2 are basically Laurel and Hardy.
Oh yes.
And it's always been this way because again, George made a movie for children.
Well, I've always looked at it this way. I didn't feel that Star Wars was necessarily, made for children. It had some very serious arm chopping and killing and blowing people up and dying. But I always said to everybody, you have to look at where George Lucas was in his life when he was writing and directing and producing this movie. And that was he had younger children.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was making his life, when he went home, what did he have? He had a bunch of younger children around him. So his, he was probably still in that headspace when he went to work. And therefore, this movie did have a basis that was headed towards those. Anakin was younger. The humor was younger. It was much safer for a younger crowd. And it got progressively...
Droidicas!
Yes, the droidicas.
It got progressively more adult-like as the movies went on.
Yeah.
And I think that that's just a straight-out sign of where Lucas was in his life.
I feel it sort of has that Looney Tunes cartoon kind of thing where that's a cartoon, but that cartoon is not just for kids, right?
No.
There's so many layers and things that are just going to go over kids' heads that they might laugh at, but it's not going to be the full impact of whatever they're trying to portray. Whereas the adults will sit back and be like, ha ha, and get a different joke or get a different sense of the joke on multiple levels.
Yeah, is that's what I appreciate about this and Looney Tunes completely, and the rebirth, the renaissance of Warner Brothers animation. Pinky and the Brain and the Animaniacs and Tiny
Good job with that.
Which we have like Star Wars overlap in there. There are people who've been in the Star Wars and voices who are voices on everything. But Pinky and the Brain, Maurice LaMarche, and that crew.
Oh yeah. Very cool guys.
Here it is. Here's the princess.
You mean the Queen?
Oh, well, the Queen. Yes, you're right.
It was funny. Christina Ariel, she was a host at Star Wars Celebration, and I think isn't she an author as well? or at least it reports on that kind of stuff. Her and another young lady were portraying the handmaidens and or Padme and the Queen at any given time. So like in that scene, the other actress portrayed Padme as the Queen because it was obviously Natalie Portman in that scene. But if it was like, you know, Rabe or Sabe or Flabe or whoever else in the Queen role, you know, and Padme was a handmaiden, then it was switched over. So it was kind of funny to see them. They would take out, like they had a little tiara that they were wearing, and they would switch between the two when it was time for them to don the crown, as it were.
So it's really cool that if you go on IMDb now, if you look for Christina Ariel, is her most recent credit is the Naboo movie, a live stage reading of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
And that was it. That's pretty funny. She had some really cool makeup too. She had done like a subtle Queen Amidala look. But Eric Bauza, the current voice of many Looney Tune characters, was the voice of Jar Jar, who we're shortly going to meet. But he did Jar Jar as Daffy Duck, which was amazing. Hearing these lines in Daffy's voice was incredible. So just put that in your head when Jar Jar pops up on screen.
Well, see, I was looking to see if, you know, on IMDb, a lot of times they'll give you a link to where you can stream it, and they don't have that for this.
Yeah.
This is very reminiscent of Yavin in that look, where they where here the spaceships, you know, go into a forest. You know, Yavin was very much that way. It kind of had that look to it, but I did love seeing
very lush.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed seeing the ships come into a planet that, you know, had a real planet look, and the spaceships landing there.
But yeah, as Spencer would say, like he's not in the chat. They always find the spaceship shaped clearing to land in.
Yes.
It's like it's just nothing but trees. But
at least though they are showing the space tanks like just
knocking over trees. Yeah, very true. You'd think you'd see some of that when the ships were landing, though. Maybe do some breaking of branches or something.
Well, you know, when they land the Klingon ship in Star Trek 4, it crushes the trash can, the metal trash can. Just saying.
Don't hawk the Trek.
Oh, you should see. I got my fancy new retro boombox in for
I saw a photo of it
signing. My wife was not amused. What did you buy? What did you do?
Did you bust out the cassettes?
I do have cassettes. Speaking of Warner Brothers, I have Bugs Bunny on Broadway on cassette.
Nice. Right? You should go walking around with that on your shoulder, just blasting. People would truly think you're insane.
Well, it's not far from it. When I rig it to play like with a USB stick, you know, I hate you, I berate you.
How old was Ewan during this?
He's mid to late 20s. I think.
Yes, Sherry. Yes.
A couple years younger than me.
Who's cheaper than the horse? Sherry, you just went to the top of the list.
Yes, Sherry is the favorite.
Yeah, he's 2 years younger than me. His birthday was in March. So he was, when this was shot, he was probably 26, 25 or 26.
It is pouring here.
It is doing the same. It just started the same here.
We haven't had rain for, I don't know, a while.
Yeah, you never know. She didn't need it.
It didn't work for the scene.
Force. That's how the Force works.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how the Force works.
Blurgle.
So, had you done anything else before this? Was like because Train Spotting and that was after, right?
No, this Train Spotting was part of why I think he was noticed
before.
Yeah, I think Train Spotting was before this.
I think the Train Spotting was like a few years before. I'm not positive.
So
96 was Train Spotting.
Okay.
So he was a earlier, much younger 20s then. Yeah, he was like 20, 25 for that, and then.
But he really had not done a ton before. It's a lot of shorts and a lot of this, like an episode of Night Watch, an episode of ER.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he wasn't established, but he was like probably an obvious up and comer or something.
The Naboo's think they're so smarty.
Yeah, so smarte. Obviously, you or Qui-Gon, what's his face? Liam was a much more established at this point, even.
But still not as established as he came to be, after this.
That's true.
Really kind of put him on the map as well.
Right. And Natalie had done some stuff since she was younger.
The Professional.
Yeah, well, definitely The Professional. There's some screening of that movie. It's like, let's see, who else?
Moulin Rouge was after all this.
Yes. I think Moulin Rouge was
2010, somewhere in that range.
Probably. After it was already established from this. Jaja.
Yes.
Thanks, you're coming here.
So it was so weird that live reading, they did a lot of voice changing, like not using both Captain Tarples and Jar Jar, who have that goofier version of the Gungan voice, were switched to other characters. And then the guy who did Boss Nass did almost a spot on Boss Nass impersonation.
Oh, I take it back. Is like Liam had done Rob Roy and stuff before this.
Right. So he was a leading actor, but he wasn't like a mainstream leading actor.
Well, and he'd done Schindler's List.
Oh yeah. That was
in my canon is I just remember him as this first, but so he really was.
He did some movie with Steve Guttenberg about ghosts.
Yeah, he did that ghost movie where he was like a ghost from like the 1700s or something.
Oh, High Spirits.
High Spirits, yes. That was a high quality movie. I can't believe it didn't get an Oscar.
He had done Kroll. I don't remember him being in Kroll, but I don't remember that much about Kroll either. So.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Gibber. I love how they were like, let's make his eyeballs like stretch. Play around with some physics here. That, whatever fish that is,
always a bigger fish.
That bigger fish he totally gives me Godzilla 99 vibes, because it's like I think they had to use a very similar model for that character. It wasn't because they had strayed away from the original Godzilla look and made him more lizardy, and everybody hated it.
Now, this was Ahmad Best's first performance.
Yes.
He
had done like stage stuff, hadn't he? Or he was in Stomp.
And he was an extra in Lean on Me, apparently.
Okay.
I'm just reading the IMDb.
But I think wasn't he in like a stage production that they saw him in, and he got this role from that?
But he has done so many voices and incarnate, like he is the Jar Jar Binks voice in everything you've ever heard Jar Jar Binks's voice in.
There's no reason to get anybody else.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a huge salary demand because of his superstar status, which is both good and bad, I guess. Uh-oh. OPC killer. Monster's back.
Crocodile looking thing.
It's like an eel. It's got the weird little extra not tentacles, but like chompery things on the sides. But it definitely has sort of a alligator crocodile head. Oh, there's a buddy. He's got little teeth compared to that one, but he's a lot bigger. Crunch. Get some crunching. Like, hey, look at that hole over there. Go in there.
Whoa. Yeah.
How do you even know if that goes anywhere? Let's just drive full speed ahead.
Let's just drive down into the hole.
Spoiler alert, that's what Jedi do, and that happens a lot later with a certain Padawan learner.
Yeah. So this was amazing for back in the day. All those aerial shots of
look, it's the Windows opening screen. Wait.
Yep. Very much similar pasture or whatever.
The same place.
I think it is.
I mean, it really might be. But yeah, I mean, the scenery, the fact that none of this was set place, all this stuff here, you get some of it later on that was, but the fact that you created all this.
Yeah, it was pretty next level. And then, incorporating their looks with the interior and exterior and whatever. There's good old Kira.
When did Myst come out?
The game? 96 maybe?
Because I mean, a lot of the Naboo sets remind me of that.
Right.
Camp, implying there's 3 other camps.
93.
Okay.
For the Mac, and then later for the PC.
Oh yeah, I would have played it on. I was a Mac person at that point.
That was back when I liked that they would release things on the Mac first, and now on the PC, and then they switched.
Yeah, and then it was frustrating for things that they wouldn't release on the Mac.
Yeah, they wouldn't release at all on the Mac.
It took forever to get Quake on the Mac.
You had to play Doom instead.
Well, yes.
And this was a scene that I really realized that the lightsaber work in A New Hope was, or even Return of the Jedi, was definitely.
There was nothing.
Well, yeah, yes and no. I think the lightsaber work in the originals was far more like
technical
sword play.
It's like sword fighting with beads.
It emulates, yes, normal fencing and other types of sword play much more.
This is like capoeira or something. It's like flashy.
Well, once Ray starts doing his thing, it takes it to a different place.
Yes.
Jeff, you're killing me with your snack food.
Cheeto
Yeah.
cheese balls.
I'm working on the low carb diet, and he's over here chumping on.
I forgot to get dinner, so this is gonna be my
cheese balls. See, now, Jeff, I am disappointed that you're eating cheese balls out of a Pringles can, though, because
they're Cheetos.
Yeah, cheese balls out of a Pringles can.
It is a Pringles can, though.
Yeah, but no, because the cheese ball containers, those big plastic ones, that they make perfect Lego heads when you want to make a cosplay.
These were at 7-Eleven. I don't think they have those big giant ones at 7-Eleven. So
that's what I use. Is I'll spray paint those and then put some cheesecloth over the mouth so you can see out of.
And see, we had open house today, and whenever we have open house, we get Krispy Kreme donuts. And I'm pretty sure that there are leftover Krispy Kreme donuts out in my kitchen that I'm trying to avoid eating.
Yes.
And when I say
wave those fuckers up and the hot light is on at Skip's house.
Krispy Kremes are like super sugar bombs.
Do you have Krispy Kreme out there?
Yes.
Okay.
They moved out here like 10 or 15 years ago, maybe a little longer.
Because we're like down the road from the home of Krispy Kreme here.
A different batter than the Dunkin' version of.
What's weird about Dunkin' is I remember Dunkin' Donut commercials from when I was a kid, and I know that there had to have been a few locations around here, and then all of a sudden they went away, and then it was like no Dunkin' around here, only on the East Coast or whatever, and then they returned.
Yeah. Well, for a while, I think every Dunkin' Donuts on the planet moved to Boston.
But then, Krispy Kreme came in and did their thing as well. And those things, man, they're sugar bombs. Like, I take one bite of one of those donuts and I'm like, wow, I think I'm good for a week. And also, I'm not a big fan of their original glazed, which it seems to be their devotees. I do like the chocolate glazed just because I like chocolate.
I like the white cream.
I like the ones where they put like a donut hole on top of the hole in the donut and make some other variation like the cinnamon roll or whatever.
Oh, my jelly kind of. The raspberry jelly.
No, I like just the regular, the white cream filled.
Some of those filled ones are good. Anyways, good old R2 saves the day.
Every time.
It's interesting to see the reflections off of that ship as they're flying away from that droid control ship or whatever it is. That's one thing is like
the reflection.
Well, yeah, I have big problems with the reflections, and we'll talk about that in the desert. But the fact that they all those ships, the Trade Federation ships, look exactly the same. It's like, how are you supposed to know that one is the droid control ship versus that one? Did it have a bigger ball in the middle? They all look exactly the same to me. So I don't understand how they could differentiate with one being a control ship and others just being there as part of the blockade.
Well, unless it's some sort of...
Or they didn't turn on their controls and only one is doing it.
Well, it might be that they're picking up like the Wi-Fi signal or something from the one. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
like extending it or something. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, so this reveal of Darth Maul was classic. I think I mentioned it in Rebels, but at least I mentioned it to the.
Oh, just
when for the live reading that I was at. Bobby Moynihan, who's a Saturday Night Live and alum, very funny guy, played Maul, and another actor or actress got up to do the Maul line or the presence behind Diana Leon Santo, and all of a sudden Bobby popped out from backstage with the full-on Maul makeup on and like a hood on, and he was like. And they're like, wait, Bobby, we said never mind. Da, 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 da. And he's like, it took 7 hours to like get him made up or whatever, which was a joke because he did it much quicker than that. But it was funny and everybody laughed. And then he got to be Maul after that because he invested so much. But he was a pretty funny Maul. Later on, if you saw the happy hour photo from earlier this week, there's a point where he's flipping off Obi-Wan in the show because he just killed Qui-Gon.
Well, you just killed Kenny, you bastard. Yeah,
pretty much.
But see, Ian McDermott had been in a ton of stuff before this. Of course, he'd actually, been in the Star Wars.
Right, he will.
But even other stuff before that, like Young Indiana Jones and
that was a great show. I love that show.
Yeah. But he's been an actor since like 1976.
But he's sure embraced that role.
Oh,
he did the amazing reveals at Celebration and stuff. So this pilot guy has always bugged me a little bit. So here with this shiny ass ship coming into land in the desert, you can pretty much see the desert around it in the reflection.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get any figures anywhere nearby it, you will be seeing no reflections of the said figure.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, Peter. Rub it in.
Been there.
Well, there you all kind of are right there.
Yeah, amphibian on the desert, not ideal.
Yeah, just strolling out there. No water bottle, nothing.
Yeah. No mister, no wet towel.
Well, yeah, and the Queen's walking around with nothing to protect her.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, Padme.
Yeah, the handmaiden. She didn't need anything. She got all that hair. She could have made it into a hat. See, right here this bugs me. You see Qui-Gon step over the pile of crap. Oh, R2 just rolled right through it.
Yeah, R2 doesn't care.
and then later, well, like right here, we got some digital crap, and Jar Jar steps in it.
Yep.
Icky goo. But the fact that they let that freaking droid roll through it, which was like legit, that was real, like horse or something.
Yeah, now this, I think, the bottom half of this was practical. But you got everything he always wanted to do. There's your dewbacks.
Yep.
There's the green.
They had stuck them in the special edition, but they were like weirdly like close to the camera or whatever in a lot of the shots.
Did you guys ever see that green R2 back there getting his head scrubbed?
Mm.
Yeah, and Jar Jar being the first digital,
full-on digital character, yeah.
Like, but by what? Like by 2 scenes? Because how much of Watto is practical?
True.
None? Come on,
No. He was a similar thing where he was just an actor with like a sightline reference.
Yeah.
But Jar Jar's in almost the entire movie. That's one of these like a main character versus a side character. And it was just before Gollum. But Gollum's done a little bit different and it's like the next level. You're not going to fly towards it. And you're.
Yeah, this was this was one of the things that I was like, you're letting your stuff overlap real world. It's like, should we not have used another word other than angel?
Yeah.
Oh, they live on the moons of the. That should have coined a Star Wars term right there.
Right. Some equivalent to angel.
Yes.
So there was a gold protocol droid that just fell over back there too. Was that C-3PO's coverings that he hadn't put on him yet?
I don't know. It looks awful assembled though.
Yeah, it did. In this scene, there's a piece from 2001 or 2010 in the scrapyard. With public credits.
Yeah. Whole movie, all been, right there. If he just takes if he'd take plastic, if you just take a card, man.
Fine. I'm good for it. Yep. We could be on our way and not have to go through all this rigmarole. No deal.
Or like the whole level of there are probably other things that are valuable enough to him. Like, hi, this R2 unit.
Yeah. You think they could get rid of easier.
Or, I don't know, would you like a lightsaber?
What kind of parts can you salvage from this? Oh. And then, but they talk about like that there's tons of the Queen's like wardrobe.
Yeah.
And you'd think they'd be like, okay, we're either tossing this for weight or we're selling it for parts that we need.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. See, right here, there's people next to the ship. There's reflections of the ground and the shadow, but there are zero reflections of the people. It's very annoying.
Yeah, as they're walking up the ramp there, it's nothing.
But even when like
Qui-Gon talking to the
upcoming
Razor.
saber battle and stuff.
Oh, talking into the like the Razor.
Yeah, the Lady Bic or whatever it was.
Yep. That they stuck a couple greeblies on and painted it gray. And then they made it the little reader for the stupid chip figures that had lines.
Nothing of value. You're towing around an R2 unit. Right?
Yeah, those things cost $25,000 in Batu.
Again, the lightsaber, or the fact that it's just
lightsaber's only 200 and change on Batu, so that R2 unit would definitely be the way to go.
And like, Qui-Gon is a very gray practical Jedi. Just run Watto through. He owns slaves. He's charged. Kill him and take the part.
Give the kid the shop and move on.
Yeah.
He sort of is already. There's a big pile of orange goo.
See, that's you don't necessarily notice before that is not Ewan, but Liam greets Anakin, hello there.
Oh, right. And but you Obi-Wan wasn't around to hear it, so
right. But presumably like that's his master. That's where he's
he hears it all the time. Probably
heard that before.
Exactly. Oops, there it is. See right here, they're walking to the ship right before they get to the sandstorm here. Here, show me your lightsaber. Here. Put this in your thing here.
Yeah, you're right. Like nothing.
I didn't like how they sped up R2 at the very end of that scene.
Yeah.
He's all wow.
Save 2 seconds.
Yeah. Bob. I'm the chosen one, Bob.
I've always found these little like their housing to be really odd choices of things. It's like, okay, we've got the like digital pocket doors on a mid hut or carved out of rock kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the little wooden guy there?
Yeah, like a little African fertility sculpture or something.
Yeah.
Tiki thing. Whoops, there we go. Pop that eyeball in. Love the highlight
Yeah.
scoop thing.
Or like a cricket, not cricket, but yeah, the
Not highlight.
Squash.
Yeah.
Squash
Oh, there's
racket.
two of them. There's two different ones. Those little scoopy things. Like they use in Tron.
Mm-hmm.
Except for it's not attached to their arm. That's where it's fun to look in the background like of this and of the original trilogy and then see how they translate that to like Andor.
Yeah.
Like especially the scenes with like Cyril and his mom.
Those are hilarious. That's just fun. It's like, what is apartment living in Star Wars like?
Yeah. It's a trick.
Here that you notice that there's like murals on the ceiling.
Oh yeah. Well, that's similar to the Baruz household. So whatever people had equated that one to being like Maul's facial like tattoos or whatever at one point, but I think that was debunked. But it does have a similar kind of geometric shape, which is interesting.
Boom, boom, boom.
This is
and like digital Coruscant.
Yep. And audio replacement here. At last we'll have reveal ourselves. Peter Serafinowicz or whatever. Doing Maul's voice instead of Ray. Ray was like Dave Prowse.
I was about to say he's in a long line of actors whose voice did not go into Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting about Jar Jar is that they use Ahmed for the motion capture and for the voice, but then they did that like Andy did that with Gollum.
Yeah.
So it became probably more of a standard practice.
And Snoke.
Oh yeah, yep. I think it was before that though. It wasn't as necessarily a standard practice. So they would get different actors to do different bits. It's weird hearing that version of Maul and looking at young Ray there. And then,
well, it that always has been a thing where it does the mouth movement. It doesn't exactly.
Yeah, it's not quite on. You need to put it in your pants, man. Except me. I can kill all of them. Except your mom. She was dead. Oh, spoiler alert.
Oh.
Yeah, so this does make sense now. I think I saw Rob Roy after I saw this movie. That's why I thought that it was bad. But he's playing a very similar
right
that
type of character.
Is I have the honor and this is my honorable deal. This is what I have to do. You know, that would have been a good plan too, is let the kid have a look at the ship. You know, maybe he can fix the thing.
Yeah, he might be able to get that thing running. Hey, Boonta Eve, let's go.
Speaking of Boonta Eve, apparently, if you really want to, I think some tickets can be opened up for the family vacation. We have been closed for a while. We've been sold out, but I think some
according to this graphic we're sold out, but I think this graphic is a lie. It's like the spoon.
There is no spoon. That's what it is. There
Cake
is
is a lie. That's the one. That's what I was thinking of.
yes.
That's from some game or something. But yeah, if you want to join in on the family vacation after hearing about all the swell stuff that's going to go on, reach out to Spencer and you might be able to secure yourself a spot. I thought we were going to get a little bit more interest after all the guests were announced, and I think it did pique a little bit of interest. But
Well, you should, because I mean, we got some great guests. This is all sorts of fun.
So
I'm finally all wrapped up for that.
we have like people from this movie, or people that worked on this movie.
well, definitely people that were involved in this production of this movie.
Yeah. I mean, the Droidicas. Oh, did you get your notification that you've been charged?
That's what I forgot to say. I got my notification that it had shipped.
Ooh. I haven't seen that yet. I got my
I got that today.
I've been charged for it.
The other day, I think I posted in one of our chats that I had gotten the charge notification, but today I got another email from Hasbro that said, where is it? That said, here it is, Hasbro. Oh, no, that's not it. It was before that. It's a different time, before I went and ordered a bunch of Doc Ondars.
Mm.
Hey, where'd it go? I saw it.
Yeah, the Doc Ondar thing's really cool, except I don't really collect that kind of stuff. So
My only real connection to it is that I go to his shop on Batu frequently. So
Yes.
here it is. Yeah, my order has left the building, according to them.
Very nice.
I got that actually yesterday. I thought I got it today. Got it yesterday. 2 destroyer droids have left the building.
Nice. Yeah, see, I don't exactly even collect Black Series Skip. I just get ones that I'm pretty sure that I'm going to meet the people.
Yeah, that too.
So
Oh,
Ooh.
this is something that, you know,
I don't have one of those, even though I've been to Batu a billion times. I did see a really cool video. I think Ashley posted it, at least to something that I saw, of those working together in new and interesting ways, because you could always combine the 2 original ones, but now you can incorporate the new ones.
See,
and get
now I
different
need
results.
that, Skip. I love
mine's in the car.
detailing on that helmet.
Yeah, those weld marks are insane.
Exactly. That is what sold me on that, and I'm sad that I didn't get it at the pre-order, but I'm gonna have to like pay more money for it.
I took mine to, was it to the, I don't know, I had it in the car for something I went to, but I didn't end up bringing it in with me. But I'm glad that Skip didn't lose his viewfinder off that helmet,
oh yeah,
because that would have sucked.
dumpster diving at its best.
Oh, you didn't. Well, that's why I never throw away the box.
Yeah, so we're like,
Well, I had 3 boxes that I had been holding on to forever. A stormtrooper helmet. I guess they're all downstairs now in the fellas room, the dungeon. But yeah, I had Tim's Boba Fett box, and then I had 332nd, which I had gotten kind of recently. And just got James and Ashley to sign that in Spartanburg, and then let's see, the 332nd, the Boba Fett, and the Stormtrooper helmet, and I've been holding on to those boxes just in case, and I finally figured this is stupid. I'm going to get rid of them. We got a dumpster that I brought in, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the boxes. And then I throw away something.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I got rid of those boxes. I'll get rid of the box for Rex because I don't need to keep it for 4 or 5 months waiting if I need to, have it for some reason.
Yep.
Well,
And then he puts it on in front of us, and we're like, hey, there's something missing there.
Well, see, I purposely don't keep the rangefinder on this one at all because I take it to get signed.
Yeah.
And I don't want to snap it on and off and on and off and on.
Yeah,
and off.
those don't feel like they want to go on and off a lot. But yeah, but he was all proud of it, and we were like, "Wait, you're missing something."
Yeah, I'm like, oh crap. Well, it wasn't on my on my 332nd.
Right,
And
it's not a
it was
standard issue piece on most Trooper
now
helmets.
it was on my Boba Fett, which I did take off when I took it to Anaheim for Tim to sign it.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah,
I think
for the first signatures, I took it off, took it to Anaheim, got Tamura and who else did I get in Anaheim?
Somebody else,
Andy Logan and Dickie Beer. But then I put it back on, and then I immediately took it back off to take it to get other. And I'm like, no, screw this! I'm going to stop doing it.
Yeah, that's funny about the Mando helmet it doesn't have a viewfinder, but it has that weird light.
Yeah.
And I would just assume that it got thrown away because I feel like it's pointless, but it doesn't look right. I like it much better without the light and with the straight, exactly symmetrical kind of ear portions.
So this pod racer right here, this is my first experience with really kind of building something Star Warsy. Is my brother is a good bit younger than I am and was obsessed with this movie when it came out. Okay, obsessed. And he of course was a little short, blonde, bowl-cutted little kid. So he decides that he needs a pod racer for his Pinewood Derby car for the Cubs.
Oh, nice.
So we had to figure out how to make, a rectangular chunk of wood with little wheels on it into this. Whew.
And it's back there on the shelf right now.
It is not. It's my brother's. So it's on a shelf at his place.
There you go.
But
I'm send you a photo. No.
Yes, he should do that. Yeah, that would be.
Wow. That I liked, but I didn't like the design of Maul's ship. I liked that it emulated the TIE fighter from the rear front silhouette, but that front end thing just bugged me.
It was really similar to the Naboo.
Yeah, that too. And it's not necessarily, I don't think they identify it at all here, obviously, like they do the Naboo craft, but yeah.
Yeah.
I liked those droids because Taco Bell made one of their toys was one of those droids, but it was like baseball or tennis ball size.
Yeah. Now this was this part here was I found was no.
Is that Cheech Marin back there?
What's that?
Is that Cheech Marin back there?
It could be. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm sure there'd be a whole page about it if he was.
Well, you got all those things. You got the little Twi'lek slaves and stuff in the background, polishing Sepulveda. Yes. First, you take Pico to Colorado, and
shut up. I will kill you. Murder.
But you've got.
I want to make the bus driver take that route when we leave Anaheim.
It'll be hilarious. Let's go to Llama School when we leave Anaheim.
You all have fun on that bus.
We will. We will do our darndest.
So much fun.
You're gonna have FOMO about the bus ride. Watch.
The bus. It will be a thing.
There you go.
No, I don't believe in FOMO.
Okay.
You've learned to overcome it somehow? No.
I just happen to
You're
have
still going to have FOMO.
cubes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my pass to Disneyland with Park Hopper and the
Nice.
Genie.
Ooh.
I think Sherry was going to do something like that as well.
Yeah. But you guys are doing it the Thursday, not the Tuesday, right?
I'm doing it Thursday. Yeah, we're doing it Thursday.
She's doing it. Yeah, she wants to go Tuesday. Right?
Oh, okay. I'll have to tell her that because I think Michelle and Amelia are going to go on the Tuesday and do DCA because they love DCA.
I always thought it was weird how the chance cube just looks like a weirdly heavily used and never used at the same time.
Yeah.
Chalk for pool cue.
It really does.
Like, why they were at a bar and they're like, somebody threw the chalk across the table to somebody else and like, oh, that would work as the chance cubes.
Well, how much here are we doing digital character? Do we know how practical 3PO he is in this one?
He's a puppet.
Okay.
I've seen the puppet in person.
In fact, Anthony Daniels talks about actually manipulating the puppet during.
I don't know how much he did it.
Not much.
He did some of it, but it was because it's a whole different thing,
Stand behind.
It's like he was sort of like stationed behind it with.
Definitely going Tuesday.
Now I found it hilarious how much of these stands were practical.
Well, that big crowd scene is like a bigature or whatever.
Yeah.
With Q-tips that they tucked in, and somehow they left enough of the Q-tips stick there. Obviously, that's people somehow because they did sections of actual ILM staff. And then replicated it into the stands in different ways. But the big wide shot is supposed to be Q-tips that had the enough of the stick on it that when they blew a fan underneath it, it moved. It caused sort of a fluctuation in the crowd to make it more realistic. It's really cool how when you hear about how they solved like a problem like that, where you would, if I did it, it would just look stagnant and I'd be all upset about it. There's that guy that's a double duty mask.
The nice thing about watching this for the 15th, 20th, 30th time is you can take the moment to look for all the odd details in the movie. The little things like me saying, "Is that Cheech?"
You have more time to sort of see what else is going on.
Yeah, I start looking in the corners of the screen, going, "Okay, what do we got here? What do we got there?"
Right. Too many fart and poo jokes, though. It was definitely geared toward kids.
Yeah. Well, and you get like little funny things too. It's like, they are calling these people humans, and it's like, oh, that's a really word. Yeah.
Well, obviously, Lucas set the precedent for changing things up. Flurp derp. So it's the first celebration they had Anakin's pod on display behind plexiglass.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had the 3/4 scale X-Wing that was in some commercial or something, advertising the special edition. But that wasn't behind plexiglass. They didn't care about that quite as much as they cared about the pod from episode 1.
Yeah.
2 weeks before the movie opened or whatever it was.
Well, and I remember like this was the merch and stuff for this was huge. Like I have a life-size Jar Jar cardboard cutout that I cut off. It was a part of it. I think it was actually selling the DVD.
So I know there was Pepsi ones.
Yeah.
Because in my celebration photos, there's a photo of me with like the Jar Jar Pepsi standee. I think I did that because I had taken a photo with the other Jar Jar, like actual statue. So I wanted to see the difference or something. I don't remember.
Yeah. Now this version of Jabba is like way better than the special edition.
God, I hate the special edition version. Let's say the New Hope version, special edition version.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what they did, if anything, in Jedi, but if they did anything, it's definitely not noticeable like that. That whole scene is pointless anyway, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, yeah, but
better
than
to have the Jeep
fur vest.
Yeah, well, true, but I like the whole reveal of Jabba when you hear that imposing laugh, and then you never seen him before.
Yeah,
is the coolest. Having already had the character 2 movies prior or whatever, seems sort of like I felt diminished it. See, now I forgot to bring my pod racer helmet up. I could have been wearing that for the stream. It's in the car from when I went to where did I go? I don't know. I had it in the car though.
You take that to Ontario or no? You took it.
No, I took it to San Francisco and wore it around Lucasfilm. But I didn't wear it anywhere since then. I thought about it at that table read or live read, but I just wore my Celebration 1 jacket and got a nice compliment from Christina Ariel about cool jacket. And then I was like, oh, it's Celebration 1. And she's like, that's even cooler. And she had to give me a fist bump.
Wearing your Celebration 2 t-shirt.
Yep. This one's a few years later, unfortunately. I didn't have another clean Star Wars shirt. So this got to fit the bill. He is so far behind. This is like so implausible.
Right. It's like
they're like nearly like a half a lap, if not more, ahead of him.
Well, that thing's just super fast.
Yeah, I guess that's the idea, is that he can build a super duper pod and pilot it at high speeds.
Yeah.
Look at that. He's passing everybody.
But
the fact that he caught up to any of them.
Other creatures can fly it at super high speed. It's like, do they have Jedi reflexes?
Yeah, it's like it only applies to the humanoid.
Yeah. Are all of them force sensitive? I don't know.
It should. I like how that service ramp is jacked up however many years later. And
yeah.
Reminds me of the railway truck ramps around here.
Yeah, basically that's what it is, right? Oh no! Yeah, why are you looking behind you, dummy? That's a big ass explosion.
Mm-hmm.
You think it would have done more damage to that part of the course for later laps?
Whoa!
How fast is he going if a Tusken Raider can snipe him?
Yeah.
I like how they just barely grazed him or whatever, but they got very happy about it.
Yeah.
I love that Greg Proops did that announcer voice.
Oh, pew.
He's funny. Odie Mandrell. Whoops.
Lap 2.
Sad little droid. Oh no. Yep. I like how Jabba keeps track of the laps. It's kind of cruel, but it's still funny.
Thump.
It's only cruel if they would have been real.
That's true. Should be.
There you go.
Wow. Oh dear. This is one of my favorite parts of Star Tours as well, though. The pod race is a very cool element that got added to that. And the pod race is going on right below Skip and Dave over there. What's funny about that graphic is Anakin is piloting his pod over there, but then he's also down in the middle walking in the street. And yeah, and technically he's probably in one of those ships up on the above me.
Anakin is everywhere.
Yeah.
Anakin is this movie.
He is the Phantom Menace. Or is he?
Or is he?
Just chucking stuff. Those pods really don't handle debris well. You would think that out in the middle of the desert where there's rocks and all kinds of crap get kicked up.
Yeah, they got taken. I wouldn't want my jet engine sitting that close to the ground to suck up crap.
Well, they're also, I mean, their jet engines that's like a thing. Is you suck a goose into a jet engine?
I was going to say bird strike
on the Hudson.
I love how he has his little tool to help him do this one exact thing.
Yep.
How often do those couplers come undone that he has to have a tool to be able to fix it while he's in a race?
Well, apparently often enough.
It's a good pod racer. It's not that good.
This was, storyline or not, some of the effects and some of the scenes, this whole pod race was really good.
Yeah. I mean,
from a cinematic point, it was.
Oh yeah,
it was quality material.
It does have like Ahsoka stripes on it, doesn't it? There, Sherry.
Yeah,
foreshadowing.
That deco is very Ahsoka-esque. Wow. And there's other things like I love that they show Aura Singh like watching the race, but there's not enough. Like we need more bounty hunters doing stuff, not just hanging around.
It's just background wherever.
Doink, 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 doink. Here we go. He's on the service ramp.
Became absolutely the huge, like all toy, all video gamey.
Yeah.
Oh no, the service ramp.
It's like,
seconds behind you guys.
Yeah, so he just came off and now he's in front of Sebulba for me.
Yep.
I love how it's like, you could have just flew up in the air and caught more speed at any point, really, right?
Yeah.
Utini. I love the Jawas in that. And I love the that thump from the like old school engine, and Ben Burt and his crew going out, and probably think Matthew Wood as well, for sure, and getting all these like different engine sounds to be able to, give each pod its own kind of distinct sound.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just George Lucas and the hot rod.
Yeah, it's very much American Graffiti, hot rod culture, kind of, this is this model, whatever, and that's that model of this, and that one makes this type of sound for so many, cylinders or whatever. Can tell I'm a big car guy. But Anakin and that one move with the switch, he does that a lot. Eventually it'll work. Did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in?
Yeah, you can do that. Well, isn't that what he just did? He moved the plug from here to there.
Yeah, it's like, the USB port's bad. Let me plug in over here.
We'll just find.
I had that happen on a work computer. Like one of the camera wouldn't recognize on one port, so I was just like, man. Oh, there it is.
That'll work.
It's not the camera. It's not the cable. It's the stupid port. I love this these wide sort of desert scenes with the heat, like mirage things going on.
Yeah.
Kitster. He's funny.
Uh-oh. Maybe you should have built the pot a little bit bigger. Like these other ones are.
Yeah, they're pretty substantial.
Oh no.
They're stuck together. That's more than being side by side.
And like, where are they getting the video feed from their iPods or iPads that they're watching this? Where is that coming?
They show a camera like on the announcer's thing, right? Where else are there cameras? No. They should have a bunch of cameras out like the droids that Maul had.
Yeah. Okay.
Following.
And the fact that he lives through this. Why? No.
Yeah, that was everybody else like disintegrated, and his is just like doink, doink, bank. Dang it. I like how Warwick gets the double scene kind of thing where he's walled right here in this celebratory shot.
Yeah.
And then he's Weasel like annoyed the next shot. Oh, there's Matthew Wood. As Bib Fortuna. You're the best, Annie.
I was asleep.
They keep kissing him on his dirty ass face. Go wash your face, kid. Sad Watto.
Yeah. You have brought hope to those who didn't have any hope. Like, not like,
Dude, who swindled me?
Some money. Something.
Was going to win. So how do you do it? You're right.
Take him. I don't like the huts.
Shit. Now how am I going to fix anything?
Yeah, it's like
Ewan's hair through this whole movie is.
I think that's part of the fun of it. Is I think that was my favorite new Funko that they did for the re-release, which was Padawan hair Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he's got like that sort of weird ponytail thing in the back, and I guess it's sort of a play on what Qui-Gon has going on, but like on a smaller scale. Get some WD-40 for your chair, Skip. Oil can. Well,
I got to take this thing outside and spray it because it'll drain. And if I get this.
Yeah, you don't want it all over the floor in there.
My wife will kill me.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Nah. I got cheese balls if you want one.
Yeah, I'll take a few.
Pour them into your hand. Doesn't work that way.
That's not how the
that's not how the Force works.
That is how the Force works in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah,
but that's written by J.J. Abrams.
Put them over my back.
And he's not really the Force.
And then you can pull them from out behind your back.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna have to plan ahead the next time.
Yeah, exactly. Have a little can of snacks sitting behind me that I can grab. Here we go. I'd be like,
yippee! They've got that like on a sound effect board or something. That's like the new Wilhelm scream for this movie. Yippee! Yippee!
I bet you there's a Phantom Menace like soundboard somewhere you could find.
Well, my brother used to have like the little read along story Like the little
Oh,
buttons.
the reaction.
You read the story, you get to the picture, and you press Anakin's pod racer sound. Yeah. It probably did have a yippee.
I think it'd be easy enough.
The next T Public shirt. Yippee! Yes, we're going to steal your child and take him off and put him in our cult.
He's going to be indoctrinated.
Yes.
Indoctrinated. I don't know what I said.
Yes.
I love how he just smacks C-3PO in the face and he turns him on. I don't know. He's got a little switch by his neck. But anyways. Isn't that where they switch him off later in like New Hope or something? Right around his collar.
Oops. Let's try this again.
Ooh, Wu-Tang. Hu Yang is for the younglings.
Hu Yang is for the younglings.
For David Tennant.
Yeah, that will be hilarious.
And I will have my Hu Yang t-shirt on.
Very nice. Oh my.
And then I figure out whether I'm going to take my 29-inch K2SO to get it autographed by Alan Tudyk.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
What, like silver or something on there?
Yeah, the trick would be just getting it there and getting it back.
Yeah. You could, if it popped apart, bring just part of it.
Yeah. But it would be more difficult to get there.
Yeah. You don't want to damage it or something.
Yeah.
It might have screws. Who knows? Anyways. I guess everybody rousted on Jake for his acting, but I think a lot of it had to do with the directing.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a kid too. Is like if you didn't like that performance, make him do it again. Get him
That's what the Lucas didn't have an issue with it, but he didn't consider that other people might. I guess is probably what happened. Because he's more forgiving and lets the actors do their own thing unless it needs to be faster and more intense.
Yeah, faster, more intense. Faster, more intense.
So she could just conceive another one. She don't need that
kid. Without any help.
She'd be dead.
Technically, I think Palpatine helped. Isn't that the comic book version?
Hold for Papa Palpatine.
Well, I seriously dislike there's the episode of the comic where it basically says that Palpatine manipulated the midichlorians to give birth to Anakin, and it pretty much said it in the comic. It was there, and then the author's like, no, that was a dream. He was just thinking that
Anakin running towards the ship. You see no reflections.
Anakin, drop.
Anakin, tell him to take off.
Yeah.
Take off.
But you remember that too, is you don't see any of this stuff because these lightsabers were big steel rods. They're not lit. Like, when you see the amazing lighting.
Look at that right there. There's no reflection. That's one of the things that they really took to heart for I think it was episode 2 where, or was it episode 3? Where I know in the Anakin, had to have been episode 3, the Anakin Dooku fight where they're in that hangar, they had LED tubes on their hilts to be able to get that in the darker environment, get the proper lighting. Pleased to meet yous.
Yep. I'm gonna kill you someday.
Yeah. We will
only because I didn't kill you myself.
Mm-hmm.
There's the throne thing with the droidica feet or whatever.
Yeah, it's so weird. And then they do the other one later on where it's the hologram like on a smaller version. But it's a hologram of Sidious. Oh.
We don't ever see like what they do to like battle the underwater villages, right? Because these droids, surely they're not like waterproof or whatever.
Yeah, you think that they'd probably have to have a whole nother set of droids that took care of that, right? Tale of the Gungans.
There you go. As I said, that's what we need to have next. That's our next deal.
Need to have
Yeah, that'll go somewhere.
all the stuff we didn't see in this when the Gungans weren't on screen. What was going on with the Gungans? Gungans fighting droids. Gungans retreating to the sacred place.
The Gungans, weird that the sacred place is not underwater. But...
yeah, that seems like it wouldn't be as sacred unless that part was underwater at some point previously. It had to have been a long time before.
This is the other unbelievable part is like we're staring into her face and we haven't figured out that this isn't
these girls don't look that much alike. I mean, they do, but they don't.
Right.
And they also have different voices.
Yeah.
Although
Kira and
the
Kira
Queen
and,
is a little more stern, but
Kira and what's her face?
Sophia.
No.
Sophia.
I want to say Padme, but it's not. Natalie. And Keira Knightley do tend to look like each other and get.
They don't look that close. I think Sophia Coppola has a more accurate sort of Natalie profile, although she has a bit bigger nose, especially when they show less of her face and like she's hooded. They don't all look the same. So
Natalie and Kira get mistaken for each other in real life.
Right. Well, Kira is much kind of skinnier and taller and was then as well.
Yeah.
Although she was, I think they were closer in height here at this point, but I don't think Natalie's got
no other shadows on the ship here either. Like none of the ships, like
none of that background stuff.
You see
really.
The shadows on the platform, but not on.
Yeah. So there's some of it. I guess it hadn't been fully developed yet. Kneel before Zod.
Mm-hmm.
I love how all these weird headpieces that the actresses have to wear are so funky. They have to keep their head still or keep it in a certain position. It looks totally unnatural.
That fits through doors.
It looks unnatural. He's like, get out of here, kid. You bother me.
Let the adults talk.
Go hang out with them.
What the hell is that guy down there?
That's a taxi driver.
Yeah, got that part.
See, like this is great animation, but it's very flat, sort of in comparison to what they would do now. This is much closer to video game animation.
Yeah,
but it's really good. I mean, it's amazing, and it's such like vast scenery and stuff that they created. But nowadays,
so the shadows going across the floor.
Yeah, there's a lot of light interacting, which makes it much more believable. But still, like the textures of the buildings aren't quite there, and it also could be some of the stuff that they've done to the original print since then. But like here, Natalie looks pissed in that headpiece. It's like she can barely move her head.
Keep very still, otherwise it'll fall off and take your hair.
We'll have to reset. Yeah, see, she doesn't look like comfortable right there. She's got her head in a weird
No,
position.
she's got like 10 pounds of headdress on.
It's not even that big, but yeah. And it's sitting funny on that hairdo that she's got.
Of course, Ian's got like weird hair going on there too.
It's got flowy hair. I'm wondering if there's got to be a figure of that Palpatine outfit, right?
You would think.
Senator Palpatine? No, he's not senator yet, right?
He is a senator. He's not chancellor.
Okay, that's what it is.
Right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Senator, yeah, he's senator, not chancellor. He's chancellor by the end of the movie.
Right. Spoiler alert.
Oh, if you haven't seen it in the last 25 years, it's not
you had plenty of time. So
you had plenty of time after you'd been 5 years old.
So there are apparently multiple senator so there's a Senator Palpatine figure. There's a Supreme Chancellor Palpatine figure.
Right.
Yeah, there's multiple ones. We've got what is this? There's the Episode 3 Firing Force Lightning figure.
Yeah, I think I have one of those somewhere.
But yeah, these are like they've got him in the Comtech figures. You remember the ones that came with like a little chip that you could put in a thing and it would
like sat it on top of that version of their little communicator.
Yeah.
Even though that was like double the size of the actual prop. But in order for them to make it so that it could have a speaker and read all those chips, it had to be bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. You're right.
Like AA batteries.
In those books, they do create a voice that's easy for all of the girls to mimic.
Yes, it's like the Disney Princess cast members. They all have to sign the same signature.
Well, they definitely have a set voice for her is when she's queen, she does that thing, and Kira's character does it as well. So
it's very it's a cadence, really.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's an Emperor. Is it a Black Series as well?
No,
that's not Senator. That's. I am much disfigured from my.
Oh yeah. See, now like this interior shot looks a little bit more realistic, even though it's so bizarre. Do you like that little droid with the camera that just went up in front of the chancellor?
Yeah,
they should have had a whole fleet of those out watching the pod race.
Where's ET?
It's got a minute later in the scene. I think we see Wookiees first.
Yeah, this whole like the pattern of where all the little ship seat booth things.
It's so weird that like he's not even in a pod. He's in like a spire, like the top of a turret or something that comes out of the ground.
And you can just like zoom around in your little ship things and interrupt and
This is the one where she can't move her head, like you see her like eye shift.
It looks like she's wearing like from later on in the thing like a calicori.
Oh yeah, maybe it's a play on that some way.
Holy crap!
There's a lot of species in this shot, though.
Does anybody know the runtime of this movie? I mean, I do.
I think it's 2:18.
2:11.
2:11. Okay.
Yeah, we're rolling at about. We've got about another 50 minutes ish. And
The
it's not
David
like
I-
there's a whole
gonna
lot of
start
that just
going-
talking about politics like it is right now. Yap, 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 yap. Yeah, I'm going to defer my mission to it. It's like, dude, do we need to know the inner workings of space politics?
Yes. We have to have their motivations.
Well, those guys are bad. They're taking our shit. Can you stop it?
Nah.
And there you go. Okay, you're not going to do it.
There we
so
go.
Now
There they are.
There they are.
ET's down there.
Yay. Oh, and then there's the big dude that
Yeah,
or big lady thing that Lauren worked on.
Orange Frita.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll elect a new chancellor, a strong chancellor, Chancellor Jar Jar Binks. No.
Aha. Chancellor Boss Noss.
Do not defy the council again, master.
I'll do what I must.
See, this is a cool scene with the CG and the lighting, and
Yeah, you can see they were getting to the point where they could control things more realistically, both in the CG and the on-set, whatever. Except Yoda, he's a double CG.
Look, he can guess what's on my iPad. It's like the scene in Ghostbusters. Give him electric shock and see how he does.
Yeah. Wrong. And then he'd be all pissed and start force choking Mace.
My thoughts dwell on your mother.
Yeah, that's the meme, isn't it? There's the classic line. Hate leads to suffering. I remember a lot of these as sound clips that I had somewhere. Somebody else had clipped, and I was like, I'm going to use this for this or that. I remember having all my web pages have stupid sounds that would play when you click on something.
Oh yeah. or the days beyond that when we would put this crap into ringtones.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think the only one that I use from that is still my wake up alarm is the klaxon sound from the Ecto 1. That's yeah. Gungans, Weasel Warriors, yeah.
It's up high.
It's a really nice job with her makeup, though. The white makeup that's just on there, it looks way better than just like clown grease paint or something. It's very.
I will be Emperor. He should have said there instead.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're kind of true.
You're the trapeze artist. Later on with Yoda.
Be realistic. They'll force you to sign a treatment. I will sign a treatment, he said.
He seems so. See, if she would have just stayed, he would have never turned into Palpatine. Well, he's already Palpatine, technically, isn't he?
Right.
Sidious.
Don't go.
He was already Sidious.
Well, there was a theory. What was I watching? I was looking at something. It's like, is he really? Is he all the Sith already? Like all the other Sith live in him. Is he really just like, Bane, but puppeting this body? Clouded this for yeah, that's just convenient. That's plot armor, Yoda. You don't just see him killing younglings. No, can't see that. Emotion, the future is. Yeah, you can't have 2 apprentices. No, heaven forbid. It's like, yeah. Qui-Gon is just like, oh, dude, I'm going to do what I want. So you just might as well tell me I can.
His fate will be decided later, but I'm going to start this ball rolling right now.
It just seemed like so much bullshit. This is the clue we need to find out who the Sith are. Or maybe we're just telling you to go so we can keep you from starting with Anakin.
But you see, yeah, and all of this stuff is, I will be very interested to see, is this kind of retconned or is this kind of explained away in the Acolyte? Because, as we've got that run up to the Acolyte that's just starting in a couple weeks, is a lot of this is they're talking about the first appearance of the Sith. It's like, wait, no, the Sith are going to be in the Acolyte. Does everybody just forget about this? Did everybody, is there the like Star Wars version of the Men in Black? Did everybody get flashy thinged?
Yep. Got that mind erased thing going.
The neuralizer. There you go. Everybody got flashy thing. Did you flashy thing me, Jay? Have you ever flashy thing me?
Sure.
Oh, here it is. They said the thing. Midichlorians.
Symbionts.
See, this, I can't even imagine trying to explain this to like an 8-year-old. They little things that live inside you that.
Ew, gross. Get them out.
Exactly. There would have, I can almost assure you there would have been poop questions at that point. It's like, there are things inside me. Do they come out in my poop? Yeah.
Look at the fucking hair on there.
She has lots of interesting wardrobes. I love how it's very obvious that R2 can't go up that ramp, so they have to cut away before he would even attempt it.
Sure he can.
See, here's the other walker with the hologram on it instead of a guy.
Sure. Like, he's not like I'm gonna do anything. It's just like, I'm gonna make sure that the bureaucracy stays a bureaucracy. We're just not gonna get anything done.
Yep. Keep things mired in red tape. Said Sophia Coppola on the left. I don't know who the other one is.
Yes, we have done this one before, Sherry. I think in a previous watch along, we were like drinking every time.
Yeah, somebody did keep track, and it was a lot.
Yeah. Once late enough, we should be drinking.
If we started drinking on her outfit changes, we would not be here at the end of this show. It's like, no.
Yep, there's another shot where ship fits right inside the little clearing.
Yep. No green reflections. Maybe a little bit right there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they do like a basic sort of general reflection, but not like much detail.
Sherry, I'm proud that you're still up at 20 till 12 in the morning, or in the evening, soon to be morning.
Not my place to say this is kind of blah. And I will visit you later as the force goes. Oh, here's Jar Jar. He's like, pop right up.
I like how he says it. It almost sounds like secret place as well as sacred place.
Well, yeah. I might have interpreted it that way.
But the closed captionings definitely say sacred.
Oh, I don't even have the closed captioning. Oh, I think I turned them off when I was watching a movie on my actual TV.
He called him Daddy. Well, you know these guys. This.
Yeah. Does anybody find it funny that in the sacred place, the statues are not of Gungans?
Mhm.
They're like people.
They're very like
Asian.
Buddha or not Buddha, but that I think it's Indian. No way.
What?
You got to be shitting me. They're like, yeah, we knew. We were kind of sure.
Jar Jar's like, what? Anakin's like, what?
Anakin's like, I had no idea.
And then they're just like, uh-huh. Told you so.
Yep. They're little. We were pretty sure. Didn't they model Boss Nass a little bit after Brian Blessed? Or whoever did the voice?
I assumed it was Boss Hog. Zorba. It's like, Boss Nass is Boss Hog.
They need a Roscoe P. Coltrane. I guess that's Captain Turples.
Yep.
We sub being friends.
Yes. Isn't this one of the characters that Hal Hickel is kind of largely responsible for?
Yeah, he handled Boss Nass animation and Droidicas. That's why those, I think it was.
Yeah, there is a Boss Nass figure too.
Yeah, there's definitely at least the 3 3/4 inch. I don't know if they ever made a Black Series one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's the same kind of the episode 1, the Comtech figures that they had.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they released them on a couple different cards and without the extra weirdest.
Oh, it looks like they've got it. They've got him in this style of figure as well, like the style that I have of there's a 12-inch.
Oh, trippy.
It's the episode 1 figures, like I have the Maul here signed by Ray Park. There's this packaging style of Boss Nass as well.
Nice. I wonder how many they made or how many characters they made. I mean, of those side.
Well, they've done that for a while because I've got an Obi-Wan, but the Obi-Wan is Attack of the Clones. It's not
But that packaging design is a very specific time frame.
Yes.
I'm wondering if they went into later versions of whatever
Well,
the
the
lines are
Comtech
called.
3 3/4 figures have that same style of packaging. It's very mall centric, is he was supposed to be.
Yeah, they were the ones with that face that's right here.
Mm-hmm.
As the main card had his face on it.
Yeah.
But it was also ones without that Comtech chip. I think they did with the same kind of card style. I can't remember.
So there's another card that's the Jedi Force file that looks like it's a Power of the Jedi.
That one comes with a slide or something, doesn't it?
That's the kind of thing that it looks like, some sort of card.
Oh, it's is it like a trading card?
It looks like it's smaller than a trading card. It's like maybe a half size.
Okay, I think that might be the one that comes
trading card, so maybe it is a slide.
Some of those that's
the green packaging. The episode 1 is the red packaging, and
that was
the green packaging.
The green was Power of the Force, and those were probably released prior to episode 1. I know. Oh yeah, they had that darker green where they had that preview figure, both Mace Windu, like a Mailway or something, and the battle droid on the Stap were like the preview figures in the green transition.
Well, I totally remember that these figures came out before the movie, and they were spoilers for the movie.
Yeah, a lot of that.
And they started dropping these things in toy stores. It's like, what? There's a what in the thing? What is that thing?
Yeah, there was all kinds of information that was getting gleaned from the packaging too, because you could see other.
Oh yeah, Maul was on everything, but I guess Maul had already been in the trailer because that was when we lost our minds when we went.
Yeah, when he shows the second blade.
Yet.
Somebody had talked about wishing that wasn't something that they showed in the original trailer.
Yeah, imagine that.
If he just showed him bust out the red blade, that would have been one thing, and kept the double-bladed part a secret until the movie dropped.
People would have lost their minds.
Yeah, but again, that was something that was in the pack in the figures. You had the double-bladed saber, and those were released. I think about a month before the movie dropped.
Something like that.
5 weeks, maybe.
Oh, blown up.
Pew pew. Doink. And then where are these guys getting this weird coverage? This CCTV shit that they're watching? Where is that camera? Way above the city somehow. It's like a satellite view or something.
Right.
Or drones that they got cruising around.
I mean, can they see out of the eyeballs of the droids, the battle droids? Can are those?
They get a droid eye view.
Yeah.
You'd think so. You'd have a bunch of cameras right there that you could tap into, see what's going on. Look, Wilhelm scream. Anakin's chair sure is noisy. Oh wait, that's somebody else's chair. That they need to lube up that Naboo fighter's
those skinny ass barrels on those guns.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, blaster technology is all Are they shooting a thing? Is it a physical thing? Is it ammo? Who knows?
But then the whole like Naboo tech seems to be sleeker than average tech.
Yeah.
So later on you have a lot chunkier weapons because
More
of
elegant.
exactly. Like you'd think they'd be making a lot of lightsabers because of that.
Steady.
That noise always reminds me of like seagulls, but it's some like weird alarm.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Where it's rolling out.
Yeah, when it's bringing out the droids. I'm like, is that a bunch of they're not by the beach?
Y'all could have been like shooting them this entire
Yeah,
time.
no, they're just waiting, like la la la. Let them do their thing. Oh, let's not blow up the tanks that are deploying them or ships or whatever. The troop carriers.
Those things, like the replicas of those, the ones that are like that are coolers.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
A lot of that here lately.
Oh, like in shows and stuff. Toy shows or
marketplace and different.
Oh, really?
Like eBay and.
Well, it is like the 25th anniversary is going to probably make things.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
Bringing that stuff out. These are very inefficient blue ball things. All they're doing is giving the droids blue balls, but that's beside the point.
Well, they're zapping them. Whoa.
I love how they just wait for them to walk through the damn.
I didn't know droids could get blue balls.
Well, why is not
Gungans gave them blue balls?
Why are the Gungans still standing there? Why isn't that many droids? Aside from the fact the droids are walking in squared off ranks, not alternating ranks, so they should be shooting each other in the back of the head. They're not alternate ranks.
Yeah. Uh-oh, time to disrobe.
Yeah, that guy is
droid the guy.
Face, and maybe he's got to be a bad guy.
He's wearing black. He's the man in black.
See, that would have been funnier, and there's your bait and switch if like Maul had been a good guy. It's something that something that looked like that was not a bad guy.
Right.
Yeah, there's no way he wasn't gonna be a bad guy.
Oh, here it is. Wow. Da, da.
Yep. You got the Duel of the Fates going.
Yes.
Dun,
Uh-oh.
Oh, the Droideka's got the shields.
What's that say there?
Boom, boom, boom. The shield's no match for those freaking fighter blasters.
Oh,
fighter cannons, whatever those are.
But you.
Anakin, tell them to take off. Whoop!
Yeah, nobody's concerned that the 8-year-old is like taking off in a ship.
Weren't you supposed to be keeping an eye on him? It cost you a lot of money.
That didn't work.
I loved Maul throwing the debris or the head of the battle droid or whatever it was at the switch, when theoretically he could just force the switch without having to actually throw anything at it. But it harkens back to like Luke and the Rancor pit. But he threw the skull at the switch. Bwah, bwah, bwah.
No railings anywhere in sight.
Don't need them.
Definitely not up to code. It's above 32 inches.
That's a vast hall. We need bigger guns.
Well, anybody told the civilians to like get out of the line of fire? No.
Doink doink.
The Gungan's got a lot of blue balls.
Yeah, and they continue to give them to the droids.
Ooh.
Oh no, that's so dumb. So goofy.
Oh,
Took
yeah.
out a
Let's
destroyer
take the
droid's foot.
mouth thing with our bare feet.
Oh yeah. Wow. Try spinning. That's a good trick. Oh wait, that's later.
Nope, not yet.
That was quick.
Shooting stuff.
Let's go right. Let's go upside down. I wonder what. He didn't tell you where. He said stay in it in the hangar, not stay in it in space. Of course, that's a good trick. That's the best
Yeah.
trick. Womp womp. I love how they shoot the window across from them instead of the one like right behind them.
Behind them. That one has a better view.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the more dangerous side, overlooking the cliff, versus the other side that's got to be, well, I guess it's probably dangerous too, but I don't know. Or maybe both have cliffs. Womp.
You're
Yeah,
standing 2 feet away, but you're going to take a long time to aim.
Got to be precise.
Dun, dun,
Blah, blah,
dun.
blah. Ooh.
Boom. That hurt.
It's got a broken Jedi collarbone from that fall.
Oh,
Or shoulder. See, we're in the fight, the lightsaber colors. I get to be Maul. Wah. Dave is Qui-Gon and Skip is Obi-Wan.
There you go.
Because
This Qui-Gon hair.
there you go. See, that's it.
Letting that stuff grow long, huh?
I just never have time to do anything about it.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to really explain to me the significance of that design.
He's like, why is this way?
And yeah, with that short time frame of being able to traverse it, like, okay, I got my crew tied up in between force fields over here in Sector 7. They're trying to get in to fix something. They're in the middle of the damn force fields. Oh, well, there goes that shield. Let's get out of here.
Oh,
So even Jar Jar running around looks off.
and what are those feathers like from those things? Or are there like giant decorative feathers from some other critter that we haven't seen?
It's a good question. Doink. Uh-oh. Jar Jar has blue balls.
The big blue balls.
The giant blue balls.
He's got the biggest blue balls of them all.
And
Hey.
we all hated ourselves.
Yeah, quite so. All right. You're dead.
No. I'm just running
Yeah.
at the enemy with these giant grenades.
Give me a boomer.
Yeah. Oh no. Doink.
Yeah, take the boomer. Oh, there you go. No.
Jump, Jar Jar. Yeah, is that thing on the animal, or they have to make that that saddle fit around him,
Right. Yeah.
unless it's part of the saddle. Droidicas.
Uh-oh. Nope.
One of the questions that I answered correctly at the Skywalker's trivia at Comic-Con Revolution this past Saturday is coming up. It has to do with
Uh-oh.
the battle droids in this final battle.
Look, that's what happens when you're hit, is your ship just goes out of control spinning.
It's a good trick. Everything's overheated. There's your go-to.
Maybe that thing should have like some landing gear or something.
Yeah, that too. But Anakin's go-to is that clicky click move. It's not working this time yet.
It's like, yeah, clicky click and then press the cigarette lighter button after.
And he couldn't get through before.
Look at that. You'd think he could have force ran. They ran fast at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And then the destroyer droids came in the first time.
Man, go.
He could have made it to that end.
Oh, nope.
Watch out, Master. He's going to try the old doink to the head and then skewer you. Oh, damn it. Too late.
Flip. Nope.
He be dead.
Force healing, people. Apparently never taught you that one.
He took out his appendix and that was it. He's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's where we are at this point. That's where we are, Sherry.
Skip's getting tired over here, and
Absolutely, Peter. I don't know what time it is on your side of the world, but it's midnight here.
Yes, it is.
It's at midnight, huh?
Why we started this at 9:30 or
9?
Always start.
No, it was 10. It was 7 on my time. It's only 9 o'clock my time right now.
I think we've just gotten a little spoiled because our watch-alongs lately have been
sure.
Yeah,
37 minutes, 27 minutes.
Peter's watching this from the future. So
yeah, I was just going to say that.
He's the.
I wish it was 2 p.m. Friday, really, a.m. or p.m.
Yes,
but
talk on Friday. That would yes.
Yeah, but definitely 2 p.m. would
2
be
2 p.m. on Friday. Shit,
would be a nice thing. I think you're off on Monday, right, Dave?
I am.
Skip may have to work, but that's the price you pay of having your own business.
Yep.
But
especially if it's dry, because it's been so damn wet here. In fact, it's raining tonight.
Well, if you're not, I don't know if you're going to get anything done this weekend anyway, after as wet as it's bound to be after today.
I find it interesting that his mechanical device, that's all one piece, gets cut in half and still functions perfectly.
Still works in both, yeah. Well, I mean, maybe it's like his actual lightsabers are, there's just a connector. It's 2 lightsabers.
Right.
But they just cut the little metal screw piece.
I think they expand on that later, obviously, but
Now, does his lightsaber in episodes 2 and 3 look the same as it did in this one?
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan's?
Well, he just lost that one.
Yeah, so
he builds a new one that's more to
Did he design his next lightsaber? Did he design it exactly like this one was?
I
think that
one's similar.
It's like the next generation, though. But
the big red button, though, was the same.
So there are Obi-Wan. There's like a box set of 3
different ones, right?
Sabers, ending up with the like super distressed one from the Obi-Wan show.
New Hope.
No, not even that, because I think the new Hope one was cleaner. This is like the show
one in the dirt. are in the sand for
Yeah.
a few years.
Right. That's exactly it.
This is pod racing. Oh, is that it? Do I have that one? I might have that one right there.
Uh-oh. Booyah. Blew it up. Brrr. So right here when Jar Jar shows the back of that one droid, his head falls off. It says 1138 on the droid's pack right there, and that was one of the questions I got
Oh,
for the Skywalkers when they're doing trivia at Comic-Con Revolution the other day.
all right. Let's see what we have.
Yeah, because I got to look at something. Because as Pete said, I'm falling asleep.
Well, yeah. Well, there's the one. This is what?
That looks like
That's
Mace Windu.
That's Mace
That
Windu.
is Mace Windu, yes. So
Oh
there's
no, he spliced them up.
but then
There he
there's
is.
your.
That looks like Obi-Wan.
It
Except for
is,
that
but
fat
yeah, the fat
tube
thing.
opening for the blade. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the more distressed and kind of weathered-y. But they've all kind of got this big
The chunky bits.
chunky bit at the bottom.
The pommel is chunky for the speaker.
And I think in his original one, it's not. It doesn't have this scraped.
No. It's much more sleeker. The one that he just lost. That looks
Well,
completely,
well, the one he just lost is a totally different style than that.
yeah, it's completely different.
It's more like Qui-Gon's.
which
And
is
it's got a lot more black going on and looks more plasticky.
is Qui-Gon's is really it's one thickness. It's not. It doesn't near the emitter. It's just.
It's also
It's really
like
a
different
ooze.
style. Yeah. Now I gotta go explain this stuff.
Kiss your trade federation away.
One thing I liked about the Nemudian character design is that if you take those weird headdresses off of them, they're very much like gray alien or some sort of like traditional alien looking species. Like their head is very much like that basic alien shape that you always see.
Yeah, but how much of it would have taken it out of this if he did kind of use Roswell Grays. That's kind of the Cantina band.
Yeah, to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. You see all the production people in the background as different characters.
It's like everybody who's working needs to dress up today and stand around.
And then you had Ben Burt and Rick McCullum, the producer, and a couple other people over there. I think was John Knoll in that scene. I know later on he's a pilot. Oh no, he's a pilot in the Naboo or the battle that we just saw. Anyways, I remember seeing production behind the scenes stuff of this scene with him and Yoda. And there being a big hole cut in the floor for the Yoda puppet and Frank Oz to work. And again, thankfully, they replaced that stupid puppet with the much better version that they got going on here.
Yoda's like all PO'd. See, this is the thing. This is what we're gonna have to see in the Acolyte. Is Yoda should have been around in the Acolyte?
Yeah.
It's like, why does Yoda not remember there being Sith like 100 years ago?
Short-term memory loss. I have 100 years is short-term for someone.
Look at this little like fake Twi'lek headdress that she's wearing.
Yeah, it's kind of emulates other species or whatever.
Like, that's offensive. You are a cultural appropriation.
Yep. I like how Obi-Wan should have been like, that's going to be you.
One day. And I'm gonna do it.
It'll be you twice.
There you go.
Once
No.
while you're still alive.
Yeah, on Naboo, what are they doing? They're barbecuing Jedi, or they're barbecuing Gungans or something.
Oh yeah.
And again,
Bum.
you're sitting there. Obi-Wan is like 6 feet away from Darth Sidious, who's thinking
They have no
nothing. No, like his spidey sense isn't tingling at all.
anything. Don't get a weird thought or anything. Anakin
They stuck this in a Jedi wrong.
yeah.
The Ewok song.
What's her name?
Oh,
I don't know.
Jar Jar's still the comic relief. We do get a couple of new aliens and stuff in these scenes. It's like,
Yeah. I hate that shot where she hands him the ball. Now Padme or Queen Amidala gave Boss Knots blue balls, even though it wasn't as blue as the other ones.
It's fancy.
In that, sparkly blue balls. In that scene, she hands him the orb, but she's looking straight at the orb the whole time instead of like looking at him as she hands it to him. I thought that was really weird.
Yeah, why didn't Qui-Gon just appear? It's a level of convenience. Is sometimes that happens and sometimes that doesn't. I mean, technically, Vader had returned to the light and he was burned. But yeah, there you go.
Weird.
George Lucas. I don't know.
We'll retcon it somewhere else.
Yes.
Because I don't think he was thinking it through at that point.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting how many things seem to be thought through.
Tell me about it, Pete. Might have stayed awake a little bit better.
There's a lot of talking. There's a lot of politicking in this one. Totally is.
A lot of negotiations get
stalled
at the beginning.
But the negotiations were short, remember?
Yeah.
Well, that was just at the beginning. Later on, they're much longer.
There was more negotiation in the Senate and the thing. It was like really between our own government.
The Naboo and the Gungans and all that fun stuff. Anywho.
Yes. Well, thank you, those of you who have been watching along with us and are, either up late or into the future, or like Jeff is, and slightly in the past, or I don't know.
How does that work?
Jeff's in the past, Pete's in the future, and Dave and I are right here.
Yes.
That's
right now.
Because the center of the world is Eastern time.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Anyhow, enough of that.
Yeah.
So that was a fun 25th anniversary. I really wish that they would have had Lucas come in and do some special editioning to this one and the other two before they get re-released. Or some director's cut type stuff. I don't know, because there's things like
cut, or give us like a George Lucas MST3K version.
Yeah, have him heckle himself.
Yeah.
What's it called? That I didn't mention is in that one scene again in the desert. Not as much of about the Naboo cruiser not being as reflective as it should be, or showing actual reflections. Is the fact that in that scene when they're battling at the very end, when Qui-Gon is in the ship, like on his back, like backing up as the door closes, you see Maul from behind, and it looks like he just landed.
Yeah.
And there's totally a scene, obviously, where they continued to fight. And I think it's in the screen, like one of the screenplays or something. There's somewhere where it says that they fight on the ramp, and then like Qui-Gon kicks him off, and that's where he lands, and Qui-Gon scoots into the ship.
Well, see, that would have been more. So they had a little bit more backstory, and on your understanding that the Duel of the Fates is actually like a bigger deal going on.
Right. Well, they had, if they have a precursor to that fight maybe Maul picked up on some of his style or something and knew that he could fake him out in this way or whatever. But yeah, it would have gave a little bit more oomph to that. But they always like to cut stuff for time or whatever. It was already, like Skip said, at what, 2 hours and 11 minutes?
2 hours and 11 minutes.
Is that 2 hours and 11 minutes with
the credits?
With a little bit of credits.
No, that's actually the full runtime is literally 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Well, I don't know. On my
within
Disney
a few
Plus,
seconds.
mine's listing.
Google says 2 hours 11 minutes.
Well, at 2:11 on my Disney Plus, we're into the credits.
Well, I'm still in it, and it says we're at 2:13:55, and we still got another 3:30 of credits left.
Right. I'm at 11:43, 2:11:43, and there's 5 minutes and 46 seconds of credits.
So,
but anyways, it's long, and
but you know,
I thought it was
a lot
good.
going on.
It introduced us to the new way of using a lightsaber. It introduced us to
the new old way.
It set the characters and the what was to come. You know, the basis of these.
Yeah, it's everything in motion.
You
know, a lot of character development and situational kind of, I guess, development. Although that
what's Anakin's situation? Where did he come from? How did he get here? You know, where is Sidious's
motivation? Spoilers to what really ultimately turned him to the Sith.
Yeah. What
motivation? For sure.
Where did Palpatine? I should say. Where did Palpatine? Not really start, but come from. Because, you know, we know that's another story. But, you know, more of his earlier
not a story that I would tell you.
Leading up to that, you know.
It's unnatural.
You know, we sit back there and we remember that the CGI was like a little over the top. But I'll be honest with you. The CGI did not look too bad as we were watching it tonight.
No.
I felt it felt a little, compared to 25 years later, and that's a long time, especially in computer graphics stuff. It felt video gamey to me a little bit, but it's still, some of it was amazing. Some of it just didn't feel like they'd taken it to what nowadays they would take to the next level and add one more layer of texture mapping or something to give it the grime or whatever it was, you know.
If you look at what George thought was important, which it wasn't necessarily the backgrounds and the starships, but he's doing his first, you know, character. I give you the screen mapping and the CGI on Jar Jar holds up today.
Yeah,
I mean, his motion, you know, his little
little bouncy
is either. But the question is that bad CGI or is that bad writing? Were they going for that on purpose to make him more comedic?
Yeah. He definitely has a gait. I think Ahmed might have helped develop that.
Yeah, his walk cycle is weird.
But it also reflects, like, he's got the big floppy ears and the lanky limbs and weird feet, you know, whatever. So there has to be some sort of
that being like a fake character.
The only time I felt he seemed a little more off, but it was mostly between his interaction with the environment than him himself, was in the blue balls scene. I'm gonna have to call it that from now on.
Sweaty balls.
When there's a wide shot where they didn't seem to match up, like his foot movement with the ground as cleanly as maybe they could have. But it's also, you know, how important is that little tiny bit of space in an overall scene with a lot of stuff going on.
But we've
compared to
worse.
like a.
But still, overall, there was a lot of
cycle, or like the Bad Batch climbing up the ramp into the Marauder.
Right.
Seems worse there.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's.
But the point I was trying to make, though, is when we sit here and go, oh yeah, the prequels relied too much on the CG. I don't know that I'm looking back at it 25 years that I agree as wholeheartedly with that as I did maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's really not that bad.
No.
I mean,
there is a lot of CG shots. That's what, like, that movie set a major precedent for.
What's the last Starfighter?
How many shots have a bit of CG in them, and it's like everyone just about.
Yeah, did you catch that? You just watch The Last Starfighter and you think this movie is amazing.
Well, you can compare it to a lot of things, and even at the time, like, didn't Spawn come out around the time this movie came out?
When was Spawn? And Spawn
slipped since then.
That has some of the worst CG ever.
Spawn was 97, so that
okay, so a little bit before. That was more like the special edition.
The Spawn TV series would have been in this.
Okay, but I'm thinking of the movie because there's a lot of horribly done
big
scenes.
Ass cape.
Yeah, well, that's where they spent all the money.
Yeah,
was on the freaky cape, and then all the big scenes of like hell and stuff were like garbage thrown in there just for filler. Very odd. Anyway.
And the amount of costumes that they put Padme through, I mean, really kind of they were dedicated to the fact that she was the queen.
She definitely made that impression. I feel more than the one that was her successor. Because, well, you only see her in one outfit.
Right. Well, she only has one scene too. But
that's probably why. But at least none of Padme's chairs creak like that.
I promise by the next watch along or show that I do, I will not have a squeaky chair.
There you go.
That's how you stay awake, though. Like,
whether it be
that didn't help out that much either.
Well, I don't blame you. I fell asleep in the first viewing of the Phantom Menace slightly, just because it was 3 a.m. Actually, it was 5 probably by the time I was falling asleep. But anyways.
Yeah, and you weren't 55 then.
I was 30, 29, 28. No, 29. No, I was 30.
Yeah.
30 for episode 1. Yeah, just at the right prime episode 1 viewing age.
25 years ago. Suck off. 25.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, still super enjoyable. I find it hard to believe that it's this anniversary of this and that we're starting to get. I mean, damn, like The Force Awakens is 10.
Yeah, it's amazing how much time has lapsed since other things as well, and sequels included. But
I saw somebody post something. They were talking about both the Mandalorian movie and the Jedi. What are they calling it now?
What?
The Rey's new movie.
Oh yeah, right.
Right. But somebody was saying, it really is time for Star Wars to be back on the big screen. And,
right.
And I agree. It's been too long now since they got a movie out.
It's got to be a strong movie, though. It's got to be able to,
anything's got to be a strong movie anymore because, like,
we've just gotten used to
people going to movies in general is becoming much, much rarer. And New Jedi Order, maybe you share.
There's the problem, though, that everybody just shits on everything nowadays too. That's
yes, that is correct.
Yeah, it isn't her thing. The New Jedi Order, Rey's.
Yeah,
something like that. But it needs to be able to hold up, and where the problem is that there's like things like some of the other properties that probably would have worked better as a movie, like maybe Boba Fett, if they didn't kind of invest so much time into some parts of that. Whereas like things like Andor, really you want it to be a longer thing, or a series of movies. It would have to be otherwise. And then you have to have the wait in between, and that's no fun.
Yeah. But I mean, it's Star Wars. We can enjoy it. We can do this, and
I enjoy it all now.
mostly,
Well, there you go.
mostly. I'm still not up on Resistance, but everything else.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. And the Last Jedi.
I have.
The OJ chase.
I give part to that. I've got to go both ways on The Last Jedi, because it was beautifully shot. I enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
I think
it keeps cracking me up. It's like
that movie that
they jumped out of the
Need to be
moving
different.
car, went over and had their own story, and then came back and got into the moving car.
yes, and I won't take issue with the part that you take issue with like, you know,
They
Okay.
shit on
grumpy
Luke
old
Skywalker.
man Luke. I get. I just want to know why. I get it. Okay, I can take it. Why is he that way? And we didn't.
No. They skipped the part that was important, that would have made those movies great.
Stuff. All right. Well, it is that time. It is like the 12:30, and thank you so much for watching us. Those of you that are still here.
Yeah, quite a few people are still watching.
Absolutely, and
Amazing after nearly 3 hours.
They must really like us.
Yes, they
join
like us.
us again. The rest of the stuff, we've got content coming up. We might have a new episode of the Unifying Force on Sunday if we can get around to recording that.
Yeah.
We hope to have you, Seth, and it's time to build up. Is the Acolyte watch-alongs are going to be here before you know it. We'll be with you, bringing all your
I
new
promise to stay awake for those.
Star Wars content. I think it'll be easier with it being a little bit shorter.
Yes.
Jeff, do we know what we're watching next week yet?
He mentioned something, but I don't know if it was for next week or for a different week. Yeah, I'm not positive.
Well, keep your eyes on the page. We'll have the weekly schedule out, and we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll
Shortly
find out
enough.
when you guys find out. Just like, well, if you
You
noticed
guys
in
will
the
find out very shortly after we find out. That's the way that generally goes.
tonight was supposed to be slightly different, but it ended up being sort of the usual suspects, as it
Well, and
were.
thank you for Skip for joining us.
I love tomorrow.
We're going to
Yeah,
have some
definitely.
other guests and things. Maybe we'll get that together for next time.
Sounds
Yep.
good.
But tonight was a great 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace. With what was it? Sunday was the anniversary, the actual anniversary.
I think so.
The night, was it the 19th? Anyways, fun times.
May the
Almost
force
as good
be
as
with
watching.
you.
Almost as good as watching it in the theater. Let me turn this off over here before we do
There you
anything
go.
else. Yes, time to go. Skip's nodding off. You guys, you guys have a good one.
All right.
May the force be with you all.
This is still the May.
Mm-hmm.